Now, before you consider submission to be a work, let's really assess that. Is there anything impressive about me saying that I completely do not rely on my own strength, I don't rely on my own opinions, I don't rely on my own capabilities, but I'm relinquishing all control to a master? I am a slave to a new master. There is nothing impressive about that. There's no earning in that. That is simply me yielding control to someone that is not myself. And that is what Christ requires. And if you think he doesn't require that, let's look at Luke chapter 13. When people are asking the Lord, they are saying, are only a few people being saved? And this is what Jesus says. Strive to enter through the narrow door, for many, I tell you, will seek to enter and will not be able to. Why does Jesus say people will seek to enter but will not be able to? Let's go through the four tenets. There's clearly a response there. There would have to be some type of recognition and trust that Jesus is saying the right things. Why aren't they able to enter? Because unless you're willing to relinquish your control and to submit under a new master, you cannot enter through the narrow door, because that's what it takes. Now, when you have the four tenets of saving faith, then that leads into obedience to what Christ has commanded you to do. If you are not obeying Christ and you have no desire to obey Christ and you are constantly resisting his commands, then you don't just work harder, you have to acknowledge there is something wrong with your faith. You have a dead faith. Because if you have these four tenets, the last being submission, then that saving faith is going to produce in you obedience. If you love Christ, you will keep his commandments. God prophesied about this, saying that in the new covenant, he would take out your old heart and give you a heart of flesh and put his Holy Spirit in you and cause you to follow his path. So even in the obedience that comes out of submission and these other tenets, even that is nothing that we can boast about, because it is caused by the Holy Spirit. It is not caused by us. So this as a whole, summarizing, faith is what saves you. It's what justifies you. It's when God declares a sinner as righteous. But if that faith is not producing obedience and good works and a transformed life, then there is something wrong with your faith. And a lot of times, it can be one of any four of these tenets, but a lot of times it is the submissive aspect.